McClain High School. In order to make today's contest as enjoyable as possible, please represent your school and community in a positive and respectful manner. That means follow the rules, speak and act responsibly, and show courtesy and respect for your fellow fans, the officials and coaches, the administrators and authority figures, and of course, your team and opponents. Let's make today's contest great by remembering to respect the game. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected and assigned according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Frontier Athletic Conference. The officials are Mike Evans, Sean Willie, and Stephen Carson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise to honor America as the McClain Pep Band, directed by Ms. Blaine Weddington, plays our national anthem. Your McClain Pep Band. Once again, we'd like to welcome our visitors, the Lady Tigers of Waverly High School. We'd like to introduce both rosters, beginning with Waverly. We'll start with the non-starters. They include number 13, Abby Marshall, number 35, Olivia Cooper, number 4, Morgan Crabtree, number 3, Ryan Bond. Number 23, Delaney Tackett. Number 20, Ava Little. Number 14, Lydia Brown. Number 24, Zoe Smith. And number 22, Chloe Little. Today's starters for Waverly. We have a 5'11" sophomore, number 1, Kelly Stewart. A 6-foot junior, number 40, Sarah Thompson. A 5'8" senior, number 55, Paige Carter. A 5'6" senior, number 12, Michaela Rhodes. And a 5'8" senior, number 2, Carly Knight. Waverly is coached by Mr. John Bonfield. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, up on your feet for your McClain Lady Tigers. Introducing your non-starters. Number 1, Evelyn Van Zant. Number 15, Iva Easter. Number 20, Jaden McCoy. Number 22, Josie Crabtree. Number 23, Haley Havens. Number 25, Lily Barnes. And number 44, Maddie Sykes. And now, today's starters for your McClain Lady Tigers. A 5'7" senior, number 5, Bree Weller. A 5'7" sophomore, number 13, Peyton Pryor. A 5'6" senior, number 14, Jalen Pitzer. A 5'3" senior, number 24, Kyla Burchett. And a 5'3" senior, number 34, Emma Stegbauer. Your Lady Tigers are coached by Jared Haynes, assisted by Mark Bill and Drew Hamilton.
And so welcome in here to McClain Gymnasium as we get prepared to get things tipped off and underway as the McClain Lady Tigers will host the Lady Tigers from Waverly. Waverly brings their black jerseys with white trim and orange trim around the lettering. McClain in their home whites, and we get things underway as Waverly wins the tip. Carly Knight on the left-hand side wing, now back up to the top. Number 1, Kelly Stewart swings left side to number 40, Sarah Thompson. Now back off to the right to Rhodes. Back up to Stewart, right side, corner. Finds Thompson, right wing. Top of the key to Knight, tries to get it inside to Paige Carter, number 55. In the block, has a foot in the lane. And they'll bring it back out as they set the offense once again here. Hits her with a chance, gets a paw on it, but unable to snag it. Stewart in the lane takes a shot. It comes off, and Stegbauer will bring it up the court the other way for the Lady Tigers. Swing, left corner. Burchett takes a three, and she will knock it down. Kyla Burchett hitting them from outside early off the short corner and the left-hand side. Puts 3 into the net for the Lady Tigers of McClain here at home. Knight on the right-hand side, dribbles toward the baseline, now crossover. Swings, far side, 3 put up, no good. Stegbauer with it, long outlet looking to get it ahead to Burchett. She'll take 1 dribble in, puts up a shot, fouled on the play. So Burchett will be going to the line as a result of that foul. Looks like it'll go against number 12, Michaela Rhodes, the 5'6" senior. So Burchett with her first chance at the charity stripe today.
Looks like we got an early sub from the Waverly Tigers.
So we will have a sub here, but we'll get the first shot in before that. I'm David Weeks here with Travis Snyder, the coach of the freshman boys, and they were able to pick up a win last night. So congrats on that win, Coach. We're excited to see some Tiger-on-Tiger action today here on the ladies' side of things.
Absolutely. It should be a really, really good game. Both teams coming in with a well above 500 record. Lady Tigers are 13, or I guess McClain Lady Tigers are 13-3, and the Waverly Tigers are 13-4.
So Burchett hits her first opportunity, and we'll have, looks like number 20, Ava Little, the junior, will make her way onto the court for Waverly, coming in a replacement. Waverly very much senior dominant, especially in the backcourt, but they have a lot of length.
Kyla Burchett knocked down both of her free throws. She is the best free throw shooter in the entire school, both programs, boys and girls.
And opportunity for a steal, just kind of can't really corral it all the way around. Stewart puts up a shot off the left-hand block, rims out. Stegbauer with what looks to be her second or third rebound now of this afternoon already, brings it back up for the Tigers. Now to Pitzer, over to Stegbauer once again. Right key, Bree Weller. Pitzer puts up a shot. And looks like there'll be a foul as Weller picked up the rebound and put up another shot. And it'll be number 20, Ava Little.
Waverly sitting back there in that 3-2. With their size, they're going to try to make the McClain Lady Tigers shoot over them. You'll see Kyla Burchett go into the corners a lot, put up threes from the corners, which is a very good shot for her. The way that you beat that is to beat that first level of penetration, the 3 in the 3-2, and attack the blocks and the corner.
And it'll be Weller knocking down both pairs from the free throw line, giving McClain a 7-0 lead here early in the first quarter. 5:38, now 37 on the clock.
You got to be thinking Waverly's coach will be taking a timeout here shortly. They're a little off kilter here. Peyton Pryor took that
Puts up a shot,
yep,
but kind of errant and a little bit low on the backboard. And She loses it out of bounds, so it'll come back the other way to Waverly. Looks like McClain looks to press.
Yep, looking to pick up the pressure here a little bit. When they're off kilter, you just keep pushing. Don't give them a chance to set it back up.
So Knight brings it up, able to break the press. And it'll be Stewart getting the first points on the board for Waverly here,
So
the sophomore.
Waverly's going to sit in a 1-2-2 3/4 press here. Gold, I mean, the way you beat all these is get it to the middle quickly rather than waiting like that.
And Pitzer tried to flash to the middle there, but just too late of a pass coming from Burchett. They throw it away. Stewart with it, now back inside.
Looks like we got a foul call here. You can see that the Waverly Tigers are looking to get that transition up and down, up and down. They want this game to move quickly.
And Weller picks up her first personal foul of the afternoon as Paige Carter, the senior, took it up to the bucket. So she will get the opportunity here at the free throw line for 2 attempts. Her first, and Waverly looking to get another sub in already. Carter nets her first.
I think that's their 3rd sub here in the first 3 minutes of this game.
And it'll be Thompson coming back in. Started the game, now back in after just over a minute here played. Or correction, just over a couple minutes here played. So Pryor grabs the rebound as Carter misses the second. And Stegbauer will bring it up to set.
They're going to continue to sit there. There's that corner
Burchett
shot
once again,
about.
same spot, same result. 3 more in the bucket.
I mean, if you want him to get out of his zone, you got to shoot him out, and that's what looks like McClain Lady Tigers are going to do here.
And that's big for Burchett to get hot early from the outside. Knight with a drive, drops it off. Thompson puts it up and in. It's a good shot there by Thompson.
Absolutely. Quick reversals here, another way to beat that press. 2 hands catching it, and
just
McClain,
loose.
McClain got lucky.
And Weller tries to keep her pivot foot, but loses the ball in the process and travels. It's coming back the other way. McClain not really pressing, just kind of a 3/4 court man, I guess.
Let them know you're there. Let them know you're there.
Knight tries to get it in head, Pitzer with it. Tries to pass overhead. Knight takes it back away. Ball slapped to the floor by Burchett. She shakes out her hand.
Looks like she might hurt her hand a little bit there.
She put some force into the ball there. She knocked it back to the floor.
And there she goes to the corner
Burchett
again.
with the swing. Once again, they lose her. She'll drive now tries to get it inside to Weller, but knocked away. Thompson with the paw on it. Knight coming back the other way. Sets up. Thompson running the floor. Picked it off on one end and gets it into the bucket on the other. So Waverly draws it to within 3 here, 10-7. McClain on an early run, now Waverly on a run.
Looks like halfway through the first here, we're going to have a high-scoring affair if this keeps up.
Quite a barn burner early. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way. Inside to Pryor. Pryor takes a dribble. Middle of the lane. Weller with the rebound.
Great rebound by Bree Weller and put back. That's what you look for your seniors for right there. Peyton Pryor with a nice little up and under to get that shot up. Bree Weller cleans it up.
So Weller now with 4 points on the afternoon. Knight working on the left-hand side. Drops it off now. Back to the top will be Carter. Swings left-hand side to Knight. Guarded by Stegbauer. Up top, Little. Back over to the right-hand side will be Knight. They reset the offense. Do the Lady Tigers of Waverly. Timeout called here early in the first quarter. Waverly wants to talk things over, so Waverly will call the timeout. Looks like a 30-second timeout with 2:28 left in the first. And you mentioned already, might be a high-scoring affair based upon what we're seeing already.
Absolutely, and I honestly don't know who that favors because both teams have excellent scorers. McClain coming in with, I'm sure those of you who are watching have heard by now that they have a lot of seniors, very senior heavy on both sides. The experience, I mean, it's about dead even. If you know people who like to watch competitive sports, get them on the phone, tell them tune into the live stream because it's going to be a good one.
And we are back after that timeout, so Waverly will have the ball. Looks like on the far side, right about the volleyball line, side inbound here. Delaney Tackett, number 23, with the inbounding duties. And they'll set things up, get it into Knight, dribbling right around the midcourt circle, now working on the left-hand side.
Iva Easter and Josie Crabtree checked in during that timeout.
And that's good to see both of them come off of the bench there. Crabtree's been a nice addition off the bench. But Thompson
Called
doing
on the
some
floor.
work. They called on the floor, okay. So she was strong on the putback there, but feet planted on the floor before the shot goes up.
And that is Bree Weller's second foul. Okay. So we'll see if Coach Haynes, yep, there goes Jalen Pitzer to get.
So they will replace her. Pitzer comes back in. So the Lady Tigers with, or McClain, I should say. I can say Lady Tigers, but it'll be the same for both teams. Quick inbound. And it'll be Kelly Stewart getting the points for Waverly. Iva Easter in the center. Trapped. Pitzer off of her hands, coming back the other way. All right, so that trap kind of giving a little bit of fits here to McClain. And the folks in the crowd want a foul, but the officials kind of hold on to the call there a little bit just to maybe allow them to play through.
Very rarely will ever see an official overturn that, and fouls when hollered from the crowd never get called. As much as it looks like it might need be, it will never be called, I promise you.
So Michaela Rhodes will come back in replacement for Waverly. And I think Waverly just trying to keep everybody rotation-wise fairly fresh. Oh my goodness, doing a nice job there is Kelly Stewart trying to poke it away, but McClain able to hold on to it. Inside now to Pryor, and Stewart comes back a little bit out of control trying to get at the ball there, and she'll pick up a foul. So Stewart with 4 points, but it picks up her first foul. And Sarah Thompson comes back in replacement.
With all this subbing, you can tell that Waverly wants to move quick. They want constantly fresh legs, moving quick.
So Easter with it. Possibly a travel, but they don't call it now out top to Pitzer. Pass from Stegbauer. Pitzer knocks it down.
Great shot by Jalen Pitzer right there.
And that's big for the Tigers as they were kind of bleeding a couple points given up to Waverly.
Gets it back up to a 6-point lead, and a foul called underneath.
So the inbound, or the entry pass going to Sarah Thompson. The foul looks like it'll go against number 14, Pitzer. She hits the shot on the one end and picks up a foul on the other. Spot foul, inbound from the baseline. And tries to get it inside. Stegbauer puts her mitts on it, and kind of a fight for the ball, goes out of bounds. Last touch by Waverly.
So now it looks like Waverly's picking it up in full court. I'm not really sure if that was a,
And Pitzer whistled for the travel there. She's wanting to get it back to Stegbauer. Stegbauer was coming back up the court.
Sorry, but I didn't know if Waverly was picking up in full court man or.
It was hard to tell because it looked like they might want to run that trap again, and then they kind of let Pitzer get up there. I don't know if she maybe got a little bit confused expecting the pressure.
I think the same thing might have happened to her. She got up there, so where's the pressure?
Oh, you know that play right there.
Absolutely,
Coach.
Absolutely.
High post entry and just a kind of little handoff off the elbows there.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Move the defense. Keep it simple. Attack the basket.
So McClain with it. 30 seconds left on this first quarter clock. 15-9 your score here in the first quarter of play. Stegbauer with it. Swings right-hand side. Easter. Now Crabtree. Pryor. Entry. Across to Pitzer. Once again inside to Pryor. Pitzer will take a shot from the left-hand side. A little bit long. Back iron. Rebounded. And Pryor gets a call on it. It'll be a jump ball.
10 seconds left. It'll be McClain Lady Tiger ball.
We're going to make that mistake a few times, I'm pretty sure.
Kyla Burchett checks back in. I wonder if Coach Haynes will be going to Miss Burchett here.
So we'll see what happens here. Burchett with 2 threes already on the day. She flashes to the left-hand corner, but unable to get in. Entry pass to Crabtree, now to Pryor. Takes a dribble, 5 seconds. Back out to Crabtree, puts up a shot. Little short, rims off, out of bounds. Ball goes out, but the horn will sound.
Yep.
No time left. 1 quarter done. McClain will lead 15-9 here in this ladies varsity basketball contest on this wonderful and a little bit chilly Saturday.
It is. That it is. So what started out to seem like a up and down, quick shooting game, it slowed down pretty quick with the second half only having a few points for both teams.
Good to have the McClain Pep Band with us here today. This is the first time I've been in the building with the Pep Band, and we know that it's kind of been a little bit strange with COVID, so you'll get to hear them kind of coming across the mics every now and then. I think that's going to be a nice addition and be able to kind of fill out the gym here, as we might not be able to have a lot of warm bodies and seats, but get a little bit of extra noise here going for McClain.
Absolutely. I think right now Coach Haynes is telling his girls, when that trap comes at you, when that 1-2-2 comes towards you, slow down, don't panic, run the rotation, get the ball through. Once it's beaten, now you have a disadvantage for the Waverly Tigers. So I imagine that's what most of his timeout was right there, talk about how to handle that pressure that Waverly's going to throw.
And so we'll make our way back to the action here after the first quarter break. Waverly will have it to start the second quarter. And it looks like they've got primarily, from what it looks like, most of their starters out here. Number 20, Ava Little, the only non-starter, looks like, for Waverly. Nice move there by number 55, Paige Carter, the senior for Waverly. She gets 2 early points here in the second quarter for the black and orange.
Waverly will step down into a 1-2-2 half-court trap, trying to up that tempo again. Finds Pitzer up top, kicks it over to Stegbauer. Stegbauer sees Burchett in the corner. Once again, Burchett shoots it.
Little bit short this time, but Pitzer able to corral the rebound, and she will try to reset it, but too long of a pass.
Right now, the team in white, they cannot throw lazy passes. Everything has to be crisp and directly, if you can, avoid the bounce pass as much as possible.
So McClain very fortunate to keep the ball as Waverly was trying to poke their paws in there and bring it back the other way. They knock it out of bounds. And so Stegbauer will set the offense.
Now it looks like Waverly's going into a 2-3. Nope, that's a 3-2 still.
Looks like a 3-2 or possibly a 1-2-2, maybe of some sort. No, it is a 2-3. 12 sinks down now. High post.
Kicks it to Burchett.
Burchett. Yep. Ball fake into Pryor, puts up a shot, no good.
Don't get a silly foul now.
Don't need it that far away from the basket. Knight gets it to, looks like Little, and she puts up a shot. Pryor gets the rebound.
Great hustle by Pryor there, trailing that play.
Stegbauer just wants to take it herself. She goes all the way down the court, puts up a shot, and doesn't go in, but she gets fouled in the process. And it'll be number 55, Paige Carter. She picks up her first personal foul. So Stegbauer goes to the line. Her first opportunity to put some points on the board here from the free throw line. And just a little bit hard on that first one. So no good on the first. She'll take her second opportunity here from the charity stripe. High arcing shot, rims out once again, knocked away, and looks like it's last touched by Pitzer of McClain. So they'll be coming back the other way. Once again, looking to get that kind of man full court action here. Not really a trap.
Not very often Emma Stegbauer misses both of those free throws. Again, a very good free throw shooter, along with Kyla Burchett and Bree Weller.
Trying to get it inside to Thompson, and they'll call a travel as she just kind of drug the foot there. So coming back the other way. I think probably the only Tiger for the Waverly side of things that hasn't been off the floor is Carly Knight. Everybody else has been replaced a couple times. Stegbauer up top, right side. Poked away by Knight. She'll come back the other way. They're looking to run. Working on the left-hand side. Drops it off. Back out. 3 put up. And rattled in as it goes in for Michaela Rhodes, the senior. And they draw to within 1, 15-14. Timeout called here. And Coach Haynes wants to
It's that
get a
one,
couple words of wisdom.
Yep, it's that 1-2-2. If you watch, when the opposite side flashes in the middle, she cannot stop in the middle. That ball needs to be waiting on her when she gets there. If she has to stop, that backside rotation is going to take that pass away, and you'll never have success. There'll always be a hand right there. It's going to lead, maybe not in that pass, but the next pass could be a very poor pass, and then you'll get that turnover. So that needs to be much more fluid, working your way through that 1-2-2.
And I'm sure Coach Haynes just kind of imparting those exact same words to the players there in that quick timeout.
I had to learn it from someone.
We know that you had the JV assignment for the ladies side of things last year, and Coach Haynes, very consistent in terms of his philosophy. He wants players that are going to make smart decisions.
Absolutely.
And are going to be able to fight through some adversity, whether it's with a press or whatever the score, whatever it may be. He wants kids that are going to be gritty and do their job and do it well every time.
There you go, reverse the timer too. See how she sat? I mean, that's just what I was talking about right there. She was sitting there, and that backside rotation, when she caught it, was already right there guarding her. She couldn't do anything with it. So then she got the jump ball, as you could see.
And that's a big thing for McClain to be able to keep the ball there, but for Waverly to get the jump ball call there, they're going to have the possession arrow pointing their way on the next one.
And in the pregame, we talked about this game last year. It was a very tightly contested game, and it was that 1-2-2 that gave the Lady Tigers fits.
So that entry pass tries to go to Pryor, knocked away, comes back the other way for Waverly.
Now McClain settling down into a zone.
Corner, Pitzer with a hand on it, poked away. Last touch by Waverly as Knight hits the floor and it goes off of her hand. McClain with the basketball. They have the turnover on one end and they're able to get it right back on the other, fortunately. Stegbauer now left side to Pitzer. She'll take a dribble. Now back to Stegbauer at the top. Burchett, swing pass, corner, Crabtree. Trying to look inside to Pryor. Now she'll set herself up on the high post. Go renegotiate what the offense is. Coach Haynes giving directions from the sideline. Stegbauer kind of eyes a three, but pulls it back in. Skip pass to Burchett. Now to Stegbauer, takes a dribble. Crabtree, left side. Still working his Pryor on the inside. Burchett takes a hop inside, puts up a shot, low off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Waverly's Carter, coming back the other way. Now to Rhodes, corner, Knight, knocked away by Crabtree. Inside Thompson, put up and rebounded by Pryor. She's able to track it down. Coming back the other way are the Lady Tigers and McClain.
As the Waverly Lady Tigers sit in this zone, for McClain, they just have to be patient. Don't rush it. After one thing that a lot of kids do these days, once they're in the offense for over 30 seconds, Kyla Burchett from the
Burchett,
corner,
my goodness,
that's
at the right time.
Take your time, take your shot when it's there. Take your time, take your shot. A lot of times when a high school team gets in the offense for over 30 seconds, they think, I got to shoot. I just got to get the ball up. And I think that's what happened on that previous possession. And then Kyla Burchett on the next time, relying on the seniors' experience, found her happy spot in the corner and knocked it out.
So Burchett hitting them early from the outside, has three from that left-hand kind of corner or wing area. 3 for 4 already today. And anytime you're above 50% from behind the three-point arc, you're doing a pretty good job shooting the ball.
Seeing that ball go in, I mean, Kyla's got 11 points here about halfway through the second quarter, and she could be in for a huge day. I mean, the thing is, if you miss a couple shots, don't be afraid to continue shooting. If it's a good shot and you're a good shooter, no coach will ever tell you not to take that shot.
So she's got the green light right now from Coach Haynes, and I'm sure they'll probably try to keep running that same type of action as that zone has been given fits inside for McClain to be able to get the ball inside to Pryor or Weller, as she's been kind of sitting for a little bit with 2 fouls. Now looks like Weller will come back out.
And then on the opposite side, Coach Haynes switched into a zone because the Waverly Lady Tigers have not been hurting them much from the outside. So now they're going to try to clog up that middle. Looks like they're setting into a 1-2-2. You can tell the difference between a 1-2-2 and a 3-2 by where the heels of the top person are. If they're inside the 3, usually that's a 3-2. If they're above it, it's a 1-2-2.
And so Waverly comes back out, swinging. Action now to the left-hand side. Corner, inside, the shot. No, but not before a travel. Okay, so Carter whistled for the travel there. And we'll come back the other way. 18-14, 3:37 on the second quarter clock. Weller with it, drives, dishes. Burchett, 3. Oh, just short. I thought she was going to have her 4th for the day. Peyton Pryor getting strong with the rebound. Weller, corner. Burchett again. Look to pop, hop. Off the glass and in.
That's one great thing about Peyton Pryor and Bree Weller being in there. They just keep the daggone play alive.
And that's the type of hustle that I know Coach Haynes loves to see out of his Lady Tigers, knocked into the backcourt by Pitzer.
You call that the blue-collar hustler.
So Waverly sets back up. Far pass, really nice eye by Knight, but unable to put it into the basket. Was number 23, Delaney Tackett there. Rebound coming the way of McClain. 6-point lead for the purple and gold coming this way. And it looks like they're going to try to get Sarah Thompson back into the game here as they walk her over to the scorer's table. Try to get a little bit more size and get some fresh legs in. Once again, Pryor puts one up and way up and over the backboard.
Take your time, find your shot.
Pryor just a sophomore here and been playing varsity for the last couple years. Very good player and just needs to kind of settle down a little bit there on the offensive side of things. Like you said, take your time. Find the shot that suits you a little bit better. You don't have to rush that.
They're passing around the perimeter nice and easy. Once they get it in, kick it back out. Find a nice open shot.
So Knight to Little on the left-hand side, back to Knight on the right. Skip pass to the corner. Look to maybe get a 3. Thompson inside. Knight flashes off her hands back the other way. Stegbauer hops. Bree Weller with it. It'll be a blocking foul. Yep, it'll be a blocking foul as Michaela Rhodes was trying to slide down and take the charge there, but just a little bit too late with the contact coming as she ran into Bree Weller. So a spot foul will be the 5th for Waverly here in the second quarter now. Inbound, strong shot, rebound for Weller. Burchett now with it, hops. Weller comes back around, pivot, and they'll just reset it back up. Stegbauer with it.
That's exactly what you want.
Knight giving fits defensively.
She's getting a little aggressive. Force that turnover, though. I mean, if you can speed them up, you force turnovers. Knight was persistent and relentless on that play, and that's the result sometimes.
All right, so Waverly gets the benefit of the turnover there as we tick under 2 minutes now, 1:40 on this first half clock. Long 3 put up, just a little bit off target. Pryor with the rebound coming back the other way will be Stegbauer. No, doesn't really have numbers, so they'll back it out. Knight gets a hand on it, but Pitzer able to get the pass. Weller with it, dribbles, left elbow, doubled, back out to Pitzer. Now to Stegbauer on the top, and they'll reset as we go to 1:12 on this second quarter clock now.
Very impressed with Knight on top of this zone. She just bounces back and forth, those really long arms, making it really hard for McClain to take a nice, good pass.
Inside Pryor, left elbow on the high side of things. Now Pitzer, Stegbauer, and Knight still doing work trying to get in passing lanes. They get it inside to Pryor. Nice roll. Just a little bit too.
That's not where you want
that
foul.
Oh, my goodness. Just a little bit too weak.
That'll get Coach Haynes a little fired up.
Absolutely.
If you don't have position, get back on defense. Live to play another day.
Well, and I can understand as a player, you want to make up for, oh, man, I missed the shot there. I want to make sure I'm hustling and staying in the play. But, you can't get yourself a silly foul that far away from the basket here.
That instinct of see the ball, get the ball takes over. I get it.
So Waverly working around the shell here. Now dribble drive, puts it up with a little scoop shot. Paige Carter puts 2 in and draws the Lady Tigers of Waverly to now a 2-possession game, down 4 as we're at 22 seconds in the second quarter. Stegbauer trying to beat it, poked away on the floor. Pryor back out, and looks like Coach Haynes will call a timeout as McClain had possession and says we need to go ahead and draw something up here so we're not trying to just kind of hustle around and hope. So 16.7 here on the clock as our first half is nearing an end. 20-16 your score right now as the McClain Lady Tigers are leading the Tigers of Waverly here in this varsity-only contest here in this McClain Gymnasium on a Saturday. And we'll see what Coach Haynes has drawn up. What do you think is kind of going through his maybe kind of his brain for this next play?
With 16 seconds left, you got to, I mean, with the pressure that Waverly's bringing, you got to draw something up to keep the ball for 16 seconds and stay in control where you can run something at about 8. But, I mean, Waverly is relentless right now.
And we talked about Knight on that top part of the zone. She's all the way out at the half-court line trying to get Stegbauer on that inbound. And they don't want Stegbauer to have it.
As you watch her move when the ball's on the left side or the close court here, she's fully facing us. When it goes to the other side, she is 100% that way. That makes it really, really hard to get that ball back and forth when you got to throw over someone sitting there waiting on it.
We mentioned the jump ball arrow, the possession arrow, would help Waverly maybe a little bit later, and it certainly did there as they don't blow the foul or the travel. Oh my goodness, opportunity by Paige Carter as it rims out.
Very, very close.
Oh boy, early action in this second half. A lot of back and forth. just energy all over the place for both teams. And you see it on the scoreboard, 20-16 as we go into halftime here.
What started out as what looked to be a high-scoring offensive battle has settled down into a defensive juggernaut punching it out down here.
So we're excited to bring you this action. We've got our halftime here just starting to tick away under that 10-minute clock. So we'll take a little bit of a break. We'll give you some smooth jazz to listen to, or whatever our producer Brad Rowland has queued up, and we'll be back with just a couple minutes on the halftime clock. Stay with us here live on the McClain live stream as the Lady Tigers of McClain host the Lady Tigers of Waverly. Your score at half, McClain 20, Waverly 16. We'll be back in a few. And we're back here at McClain Gymnasium. The Tigers of McClain hosting the Lady Tigers of Waverly. And it's been a slugfest so far, 20-16. Just a minute here left at the half. Get ready to get the second half underway. And Coach, what do you think about the effort here from both teams thus far?
It's been a really enjoyable defensive battle to watch. I think that Waverly won't go away from that zone or that pressure, zone or pressure, until McClain makes them. And the way it started, I was a little iffy as to them staying in it with Kyla Burchett starting off as hot as she did. But the offense has cooled down a little bit, and they're just going to keep that pressure up. McClain down here, actually they'll be on the other end this time. I'd say they're going to stay in that zone and make Waverly shoot them out of it. So I think it's going to be a really, really interesting defensive second half.
And so it looks like starters back on the floor for both teams. For Waverly, it'll be Stewart, Knight, Rhodes, Thompson, and Carter. And for McClain, their original starting five: Weller, Pryor, Pitzer, Burchett, and Stegbauer. Stegbauer swings to the right-hand side to Burchett. Now back up to the top. Long pass. You mentioned that earlier.
Slow pass.
Can't have those long passes. And I'm sure Coach Haynes and Coach Beal probably preaching that. Once again, Knight doing a great job getting in those passing lanes. I think if she would have probably gone with her right hand, she would have had a better chance to be going back the other way.
Now you
trapped inside, knocked away. It'll stay with McClain as it's knocked out by Carter. Last touch off her fingertips. McClain underneath their own basket on the left-hand side. Pitzer to inbound. Corner, Stegbauer, nobody short. Rebounded by Michaela Rhodes, coming back the other way.
So it looks like McClain's back in a 50 or a man where they're guarding individually.
Man defense, and Michaela Rhodes hits the deck. Foul on the play. Looks like it'll probably go against Pitzer, I believe, is who they'll likely whistle it against. Yep, it'll be 14. So Waverly inbounding underneath their own basket now. Knight trying to point out what to do, and I think everybody kind of a little bit confused on the inbound. Rhodes takes it far right on the three attempt.
Long rebound goes Waverly's way.
It's a back out top to Rhodes. She'll try to get it pressured by Burchett. Knocked to the floor. Burchett doesn't need to do that. Pitzer gets her hands on it. Now to Stegbauer coming the other way. Puts it up. Tough shot, but gets it in on the transition.
With my coach's eye there, I saw when Rhodes had the ball, she did not move it from her right hand. That could be a key as she shows that she might not be able to dribble with her left.
We'll see. Big take here for Waverly. Shot put up, no good. Loose ball picked up by Rhodes. Now it'll be Carter with it. She dribbles up top. They'll reset with Knight on the left-hand side with it. Stewart swings left-hand corner, and they'll go ahead and spread things out. Now flashing to the top of the key. Screen. Pryor tries to get the rebound. Kind of bumped from behind, but they don't whistle it, and so it goes off of Pryor's hands. Stays with Waverly here.
McClain fans wanting to foul there.
So the orange and black with it. Inbound goes to Stewart. She'll dribble. High dribble. That should have been a carry. They don't blow that one either.
The ball.
Carter puts up a three from the right corner.
Ball always knows what the truth is.
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Pitzer brings it back the other way. Stegbauer, Burchett, left side. Oh, just off the mark. She'll get the long rebound, though.
As I mentioned in the first half, Kyla Burchett needs to keep shooting them.
And Pitzer puts one in from the outside. Her second of the day. 6 points for her.
McClain jumps out to a quick 9-point lead here in the beginning of the third.
What was just 4, now extended to 9 for McClain. And Waverly needing to answer back. They get it inside. Shot put up, rolls around the front side of the rim. Rebounded. Waverly with it. Not touched by anyone from McClain. And Paige Carter, as she kind of tracks down the pass, goes across, and it'll be an over and back call.
Watching Coach Haynes there, it looked like he thought they weren't going to call it.
he was a little animated. He gets that way from time to time.
That is true.
But McClain with it nonetheless, coming back the other way. Burchett right side now to Weller in the corner. Right wing, now over to Stegbauer on the left. She'll dribble toward the left and knocked out of bounds.
McClain's got to find a way to shorten these passes. I mean, Waverly's sitting in those passing lanes, and anything over 10 feet, it's a dangerous pass.
So Pitzer inbounds to Stegbauer on the top, right around the volleyball line, now right side to Burchett. Pryor just kind of going from the top,
elbow to elbow.
The high elbow there, working back and forth, trapped, now to Stegbauer. Pitzer tried to flash corner, but Stegbauer didn't see her. Burchett drives it into the lane, puts up a shot, no good. Goes out of bounds. And it looks like Kelly Stewart just unable to kind of make sure that she had the handle on the ball there, and goes out of bounds toward the McClain sideline. Stays with McClain. So Burchett corner now. Pitzer right wing, and they'll go ahead and set it back up.
Waverly sitting in that 3-2 that they were in beginning of the game.
Post flash action. Pryor sitting on the top. Now they'll go ahead and reset it. Pitzer goes around. Nice job fronting the pass there by Paige Carter, but thrown away as she tries to outlet it.
Carter seemed to rush it a little bit and threw it up there to Emma Stegbauer, who's ready to grab it and snag it, bring it the other way.
And as she brings it the other way, Carly Knight kind of impedes her progress to make it down the floor. Gets a blocking foul called against her.
With Carly Knight being in that position up top, it's a testament to how good and solid she is as a defender, where she's wrecked the offense so much but only has one foul up to this point.
She's done a very nice job staying in the action and staying out of trouble thus far today. And as you mentioned, her length has been a big key contributor to the defensive efforts here for Waverly. So Stegbauer will set it. Working right side, flashing to the elbow is Pryor, now working on the left-hand side. Stegbauer with it, left wing, poked away. Trap on the high left side, but Burchett with it. Now dropped inside to Pryor, puts up a shot. But Ava Little knocks it out of bounds as Pryor tries to put one up. Couple subs in for McClain. Looks like Easter and Crabtree will come in replacement.
Nice little seal there. Bree Weller takes it up, gets a foul.
And it looks like it might be whistled against Paige Carter. We'll see. Yes, they do put up the 5-5 on the referee's hands here. So Paige Carter will pick up her second. So no one really in foul trouble thus far for Waverly. What really either team? Well, a couple with 2 fouls. Weller picked up 2 in the first half. She nets her first here at the free throw line.
Great free throw shooter Bree Weller is.
And Weller, I believe, leading scorer here for McClain. Lots of double-digit games for the Lady Tigers of purple and gold here. And she's able to put both in here. Now 6 points on the afternoon.
One thing that I really like about Bree is if she's not scoring, she finds ways to influence the game the other direction, or with rebounding and her excellent defense.
Carly Knight coming in with a full head of steam, and Stegbauer is able to poke it away.
And she picks up her second.
Wow, okay, so quick foul as Carly Knight tries to get it back. And that could be a big thing because we've seen Carly Knight, I don't think she sat on the bench outside of before player introductions for Waverly.
Absolutely.
So Waverly in it. Iva Easter on the right-hand side. Good to see Easter back out there. We saw her go down. You and I were calling a game against Fairfield earlier toward the new year, and she had a kind of what looked like a nasty ankle injury.
And it was a scary moment. But the crazy thing is, she's such an athlete. Look at her. Ooh.
Oh.
I think she might touch that right beforehand.
Just before. I think Weller's just hustling there. Pryor with the points there on the end for McClain.
But Iva Easter, when she went down, she was trying to get back in the next daggone game.
She's just a hard-working kid and a lot of hustle here. And we got a timeout. Looks like called by I think Waverly. Yep. Waverly calls the timeout there, so it'll be a quick timeout. I believe 30-second. I didn't quite see what the officials signaled there, but I believe a 30-second timeout. 29-16, the lead for McClain here in the third quarter. 2:35 left on the clock as we got the second half underway, partway through the third.
And even though halfway through the third, the 13-point lead is getting a little dangerous for Waverly. After that first quarter, they've scored 7 points offensively, and they're not being able to turn the ball over for McClain, so they're not able to get in that transition that they like to run. The press is no longer turning McClain over, so this could be dangerous for Waverly getting down this much, even though it's still a lot of game left to play.
We've seen a lot of these games for the Lady Tigers and McClain. A lot of times that kind of first quarter, second quarter, they kind of feel out their opponents and then kind of assert their will in the third, and that might look to be what's taking place here today.
We went from what, 4-point lead at halftime to 13.
Big swing.
Swing of 9.
Crabtree tries to get it inside. Loose ball. Bodies hustling for the basketball.
Good hustle.
Stegbauer comes back. Kelly Stewart, the sophomore, puts up the shot, but Stegbauer with the hustle play. Johnny on the spot.
Michaela Rhodes is checking back in. She is a shooter for Waverly, so you might see her spotting up outside the three, seeing what they can do to get a little offensive momentum for Waverly.
So Pryor comes out. Sykes in for her. Sykes draws the defensive assignment on the inbound against Thompson. Sure. Looks like Bree Weller might pick up her fifth, or her third foul. Yep. Correction, number 5 picking up her third. They put up the 5.
And that's just one where she's playing tough. There's really not much you can do.
So Waverly with it, inbounding underneath. Stegbauer turns as the inbound comes from Knight and pokes it away. Ooh, Weller trying to wrestle the ball away, swinging around, and kind of Knight gets knocked to the ground. Probably an inadvertent.
Knight picks up her third.
Knight picks up her third foul here. So 3 fouls. What was a clean sheet on the foul side of things for Knight in the first half. Now 3 in the third quarter. No good. And it looks like the officials might talk here because
that is an intentional foul if you're intentionally trying to throw those elbows.
So they may call the intentional here. We'll see. The question then will become, with it being an intentional foul, if they do call it after the kind of officials conference here.
Oh, they'll call a double foul. They won't get the intentional.
Okay, so they call a double foul. Crabtree gets the foul.
So that will be Bree Weller's 4th, though. And you can, if you remember back to the first half when Bree Weller was on the bench, that's when the scoring stopped. Even her presence out there helps McClain get up to this type of lead. So
Eats up that space.
Yep, this is a big foul there.
Oh my goodness, I'm surprised I don't know if they gave the wrong number there, because I don't think Crabtree was anywhere near that play.
I think they gave the wrong number.
And the officials will talk, but they keep.
Nope, they're keeping it.
They keep
so that
Crabtree.
Will not be Bree Weller.
Oh my goodness, that is huge.
I was not watching. That didn't even register to me.
They kind of look similar, very similar height, similar hair color, different number on the jersey, and that makes all the difference here in the scorebook.
That
Easter with it, driving in.
That is a huge call.
Woo, boy.
That means Bree Weller doesn't have to sit very long.
No. Michaela Rhodes picks up the foul as Easter was driving in on the right-hand side. But it'd be a spot foul. Waverly with their 5th now of this second half. Pitcher to inbound. Long pass just over the fingertips of Knight. Knight with 3 fouls stays in the game because they really need her at the top of that zone.
You can't take her out. Even if she gets a 4th coming up, you can't take her out. I think she is the heartbeat of that zone right there. And
you can definitely tell Waverly, at least on the scoring side of things. We've kind of mentioned not having a lot since the first quarter. They're really missing their 1,000-point scorer, Zoe Smith, number 24, on the bench with an ankle injury.
Easter gets her own rebound. Get back.
Waverly coming back the other way. Rebound Pulled down by Paige Carter. She outlets it to Little. Now up top, ball on the floor. Knight trying to fight for it in the corner, and she's bodied by someone in a white jersey.
That'll be Josie Crabtree for sure this time.
This time Crabtree does pick up the foul. An honest foul this time. And it looks like Waverly trying to roll in another substitute. It'll be Morgan Crabtree.
Ooh, Knight's coming out.
Wow, surprise. Maybe just kind of give her a blow here with only about 1:06 left in the third quarter. Don't want her to pick up her fourth foul.
That's not the worst.
Going into the fourth frame.
But Waverly's struggling to get it in. There we go. They get it in.
Crabtree with it. Tries to get it on the left-hand side. Does. Carter with it. Now back up top to Little. Little grabbed or guarded by Crabtree. Easter with it. Defensive assignment. Dribble drive. Out of bounds.
On the line.
Foot on the line.
That baseline there, it's an extra defender if you can squeeze them down.
So Waverly caught with a paw on the baseline. Coming back the other way are the white shirts of McClain.
We'll see what Waverly's defense looks like with Knight on the bench here.
And you can tell that press isn't nearly as aggressive without Knight.
I think Coach Haynes is holding for the last shot there. Emma Stegbauer saw that lane wide open.
Yes,
for
she
her.
did. 30 seconds now.
Josie Crabtree comes
to tick
to the
on the
corner here.
clock. Stegbauer just dribbling. Easter with it. Crabtree, corner, puts it up, long. Sykes tries to run it down. Out of bounds, goes off the foot of Sykes. It'll be coming back the other way with just 18 and a half left on the ticker in this third quarter. Waverly running a couple subs out to replace at the end of the quarter. Sykes goes up trying to knock it away like a safety. She does, but it knocks out of bounds. 9-9 on the clock here.
Two Waverly girls check in here. We'll see what draws up for the last second shot.
Long three, it'll be short.
Bounces right under Jalen Pitzer's hand.
4 seconds, a chance. Iva Easter's got wheels. We'll see if she can get it up. She puts one up, little bit short. Shot at the buzzer, no good. McClain, though, with a lead. They extend what was a 4-point lead at halftime into a much, much larger gap going into the fourth. And it's 29-16 as the Lady Tigers of McClain lead it.
And Ivy Easter can go from free throw line to free throw line in about 3 seconds. That girl is quick.
She's got wheels and plenty of gas in the tank, even with kind of a little bit of a bum ankle from that injury that we mentioned earlier. Unable to net that one at the end of the quarter, but she's she's been a big factor here to have someone else on the perimeter and kind of give some of the seniors a little bit of rest here for McClain, able to kind of come in replacement, not really lose a whole lot of step here.
Now you just mentioned it a little bit ago, but Waverly's missing their 1,000-point score. Right now, they need that scoring as they're down 13 coming here into the fourth. Knight's checking back in. But I just don't know where the answer is here for Waverly.
It's tough to tell. I mean, they've got the defensive effort for sure. I mean, McClain really still under 30 points. That's a where you really want him to be if you're Waverly on the defensive side of things, holding a team under 30. But
then,
if you can't score, it's not going to help.
Absolutely, and you got to think that at the end of the first quarter, McClain was sitting at 15 points. And we were thinking we're going to have a back-and-forth offensive battle.
Not the case thus far. McClain with 29, Waverly with 16, and Pitzer gets the steal, driving it in, and she will get the transition bucket, steal and score for Jalen Pitzer, the senior coming back the other way. Quick as Knight back up the court, dribble drive, nice shot, but off the mark. Burchett with the rebound, coming back the other way. And poked out by number 1, Kelly Stewart.
Here's going to be
the off of her.
It's going to be the big difference when Waverly's getting to the bucket. Are they going to be able to finish?
So we'll see what happens here because they've had a couple opportunities in close and just can't get them to fall. Pryor sets up. Will try to get the rebound, just volleyballed around on the floor now. Corralled by Ava Little, coming back the other way. Off of Knight's fingertips goes the pass. Burchett coming back the other way. She takes a jump stop. Smart play. It was probably going to get swatted away by Little, and she just lets Little kind of body her to the floor.
Kyla Burchett is a very, very smart basketball player.
As you mentioned, Burchett, the best percentage-wise free throw shooter in both boys and girls programs here from McClain thus far in these winter sports seasons, and she'll get an opportunity here at the line. This one rims out.
Rare miss for Kyla Burchett. Those legs might be hurting a little bit on her.
I would imagine so after taking that tumble. Weller back into the contest. And scoreboard is correct. Only 3 fouls. Should be the 4th, as we mentioned before, with those elbows, but Crabtree picked it up.
Kyla Burchett misses both of them.
Wow, big surprise. Ooh.
Guess who it is?
Comes back the other way. Paige Carter upset with herself there after she thought she had a very open path to the basket, kind of slaps the padding against the wall.
Even though they're down 15, Carly Knight is not looking to quit anytime soon.
Certainly not. Opportunity for Pryor if they can get it over. Timeout called as there was a very close to 10-second call.
Absolutely, and that'll reset the 10-second clock, so they're able to get across that timeline. Waverly, I mean, they got to convert on those if they want to keep this game anywhere close. It's still just a 6. I mean, they knocked down a couple buckets. They're right back in this, but McClain's also only a couple buckets away from putting this one away.
It's got to be one way or the other, but if it's going to be Waverly trying to get back into it, it's going to have to happen here early, because there's another enemy here on the floor for you besides the 5 white jerseys if you're Waverly, and that's the clock.
Absolutely. If I'm Waverly's coach, I consider going into a man-to-man press, try to get a turnover, maybe a trapping, run and jump type thing, because this 1-2-2 is not turning them over anymore. We
saw Fairfield give McClain fits with a half-court trap with some girls that were very long, similar to this Waverly Lady Tigers team. And they kind of do something similar, not quite a trap, but they use that length. Coming back the other way, poked away. Stegbauer once again. Hustle, hustle, hustle coming back the other way. What could have been an easy bucket for the Lady Tigers of Waverly becomes what will have to be a set play from the baseline as Stegbauer pokes it away. Carly Knight to inbound. Stewart with it, puts one up short off the front iron. Rebound by Thompson back out.
Last 4 trips have ended with a missed layup from the Waverly Tigers.
And this time Paige Carter able to put one up and in. So she redeems herself from what she thought was a easy shot earlier with a much more difficult one. This time Burchett with a quick shot for McClain. Weller gets the rebound, spins around, puts one up, and someone with a black jersey on is going to get whistled for the foul. Might be number 40, Thompson. No.
I think signal 20.
They signal 20. Okay, so it'll be number 20, Ava Little, the junior, picking up the foul. 2 shots now for Weller at the line.
I think next time Coach Haynes has his girls in the huddle, he might be telling them, slow down, stay aggressive, slow down, but run a little bit of that clock off, because as you said, it is an enemy of the Waverly Tigers.
And Weller puts the first one in, so another point on the board for her. She now has 7, now make it 8 on the day. Pretty even scoring here for McClain. 8 for Weller, 13 for Burchett, and 8 for Pitzer here. Foul on the other end of things.
And they called it a shooting foul.
They call it a shooting foul. That surprises me a little bit. Wow, 34. Stegbauer picks up her first. So the point guard for McClain.
And I would like to give Emma that same compliment that I gave Carly Knight. Emma's a huge presence on the defensive end, and she rarely ever picks up fouls.
And so Knight misses the front half here. Burchett sits to rebound. She'll go to box out Knight, who misses the second as well. Pryor gets the rebound. Brings it to Burchett. Burchett with it. Looks to set. Now Stegbauer. And Waverly's going to really have to push here on the defensive side of things. Got to turn up the aggressive nature of that kind of top of the zone with Knight, even though she might have some fouls. Pryor inside, uses her body, puts one up, gets the rebound, puts another one up, and once again, careless foul away from the basket.
And that's something that I talked about a little bit earlier. If you don't have a good shot, kick it back out, and I'll point to the clock again. It's a factor in this game. Kick it back out, run some time.
And that's just got to be, that's got to be game awareness if you're the McClain Lady Tigers here.
Coach Haynes talks about that. He calls it TSS, time, score, situation.
Dribble drive, ball put up, body on the floor, no good. Was the shot there from Carter. Coming back the other way, McClain will set up Knight in that defensive stance. Way up high around the volleyball line. Weller with it, drives, puts one up. Pryor gets the rebound, puts one up. Just back and forth across the basket go Weller and Pryor playing volleyball there, getting rebounds for each other.
Trying to get their stats up, I get
that.
Yeah,
get a couple more numbers in the scorebook for each one. Weller gets fouled in the process.
Even though we throw it off as a little bit of a joke, I know someone that does not take that as a joke, and that is Coach Haynes.
Certainly not.
I guarantee you they're going to have an earful once they come to the sideline.
Weller nets her 9th point here. She'll put up the 2nd. Smooth as silk.
Great free throw shooter.
35-18 the score, under 5 minutes to play, 4:53 left on the clock, 35-18 the lead for McClain.
Now we're getting to the point where Waverly's got to make a run, or it could be done.
At the top is Michaela Rhodes, pressured by Burchett,
silly foul.
and she leaves her feet, doesn't need to. All you got to do is just stay in that defensive stance.
Yep. And that will be a bonus for Waverly.
Yeah,
so
puts them in the single bonus.
Which is huge, because now every time that McClain fouls, they will be stopping the clock.
And both teams actually over the 7 foul limit for the single bonus, 7 for McClain, 8 for Waverly now. So we're going to have free throw shots both ways till the end. So this one might slow down a little bit. It depends.
Waverly's really struggled from the free throw line tonight.
Seems like it, as that one rims off for number 12, Michaela Rhodes, the senior. And what could be cutting into the lead for the orange and black has not really helped him any. Pits her from the left-hand corner, a little bit long off the back.
And another foul,
crashes
just
down.
like I said, that clock, that's an enemy, is no longer ticking.
So Stewart fouled from 90 feet away.
Yep.
No one's putting up a shot from that far, but she'll go to the free throw line because of that single bonus.
Yep.
And Kelly Stewart, just a sophomore, 5'11", very tall frame. She'll get an opportunity here with one in the bonus, and once again, rims out. I think that's 4 straight missed free throws for Waverly here. So comes back the other way, Pitzer with the rebound to Stegbauer, now on the top. Weller looked to screen, but just slipped off.
Great
Stegbauer didn't need it, just took it right in. 2 points for her, 4 on the day for Emma Stegbauer.
And it looks like Waverly's starting to feel that pressure. They're trying to get down the court in a hurry.
Really hustling, trying to get the ball inside as quick as they can. Taken by Michaela Rhodes as she drives in. She'll be going to the line. Peyton Pryor will pick up the foul. That's her 3rd. So both bigs for McClain now with 3 fouls. Not too much of a factor here, as we're just a little under 4 minutes left in the contest, and especially the lead as it is. That's 5 straight misses. Waverly's got to put them in at the free throw line if they want to stay anywhere near to end this. Sykes comes in for McClain. Looks like Stewart back in for Waverly.
And it goes back to Waverly missing their 1,000-point scorer.
And they finally break the curse there as Rhodes is able to put one in, and we'll have a timeout called. It'll be
Waverly
a full timeout.
Yep, picks up the
So Waverly calls the timeout, 62nd timeout. 37-19, 3:51 left on the clock. 18-point lead, and not insurmountable necessarily, but if you're going to chip away at this at all, it better be in a hurry, and you're going to have to really be hustling on both ends.
Well, and it's got, I mean, they're going to have to turn McClain over, figure out a way to turn McClain over. but it seems like McClain's doing a pretty darn good job with that 1-2-2 3/4 court press that they're bringing at them. So Waverly's got to find a new way to do it. But then it goes to McClain's experience. Emma Stegbauer's been playing varsity for 3 years now. So that's a point in McClain's book there.
So Stegbauer doing a nice job kind of running things, captaining the ship from the point guard position for the purple and gold. And we'll see if she can kind of keep steering the ship in the right direction and really bring it into port here with a victory. Just 3:51 left on the clock. She'll inbound. Waverly brings up what looks to be a possible.
Here's a 2-2-1.
It's a 2-2-1. Carly Knight sitting back in the middle there as they don't want her to get a fourth foul.
So now it looks like Waverly switched it up to man-to-man defense.
Stegbauer with the crossover drops it off to Weller, who will drive inside, puts one up off the mark. Rebounded coming back the other way is Knight. Nice pass.
Great pass.
Oh, and
Missed.
no good.
Missed
Easy
layup.
buckets
Yep.
for the Lady Tigers of the orange and black.
If you're Waverly, though, you just got to shake it off. Come back for the next play because that's what happens right there.
And
You
they
keep
do,
trying.
coming back the other way.
Another miss
Ball
layup.
taken away, no good. Knight gets the rebound, puts it up, no good. Weller with it. She squeezes the orange, and it'll come back the other way as Stegbauer tries to slow it down.
That's 2 turnovers that Waverly left on the court. Could have closed the gap by 4.
So no dice there. The gap stays the same. Stegbauer coming in, left hand this time, no good.
Carly
Little
Knight
bit of
pushes it.
body onto Knight, and Burchett picks up a little, just a ticky-tack foul she doesn't need to get. As we're coming back in transition, Knight will go to the line. So Burchett gives a little hip action. That'll be Burchett's third. Knight with a chance here. She gets her first point of the day.
Oh, wow.
As you mentioned before, they're really missing Zoe Smith on the scoring side of things. Are the Lady Tigers of Waverly. Carly Knight with the point there. Puts up her second. It's going to be strong.
Rebound.
And
Rims
out again. My goodness, Kelly Stewart must be thinking there's no way that backboard is even, because she's had a lot of opportunities there from the right-hand side, and they just haven't fallen.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking. There's a lid on that rim for the
Must
Waverly
be.
Tigers coming this way.
But Kelly Stewart will be going to the line, shooting 2 here as she was in the act of shooting. Puts up the first. It will be long once again. Not liking this end of the gym. Gets the second. Quick shot. This time short. Sykes with the rebound. Outlet to Easter. Can't handle the pass, but
Yep. Picks it
comes
up.
back
Gets
the
it
other
to
way.
Emma.
Emma pressured by Carly Knight on the top. Now Weller with it. Knight doing a good job defensively. They don't whistle her. Ball on the ground.
Looks to
Bodies
push.
on the ground. Coming back the other way. Errant pass. Off the fingertips of the orange and black. Coming back the other way. And they bring up Knight this time to pressure, as they know they've gotten almost no time left. 2:16 on the clock now. Stegbauer with it. They're going to try to trap up high. Stegbauer's too smart for that.
Almost, yep.
Oh, almost.
throw.
No, the length gives them fits. But Josie Crabtree,
Lazy pass on this end.
able to put her hands in the passing lane and bring it back the other way for McClain. Stegbauer with it. Sykes seals. Shot put up by Stegbauer.
To Waverly's credit, they're turning them over. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
they
getting
really
the
are.
turnovers they need, but they got to capitalize on them.
And you can tell that Waverly, they as many young players as what they have on the back end of this roster, they're going to be good for next year. They'll be okay. Stegbauer puts up the first. It is good. So her 5th point on the afternoon now.
Looks like Carly Knight's checking out for the afternoon.
And she gets a well-deserved hug from her coach.
Handful of seniors coming out. Looks like Waverly's letting the young young kids off the bench.
Stegbauer gets the second, so front and back end of the free throw opportunities there. 6 points for her now today. Out top is Morgan Crabtree. Now to Stewart, dribbling in. Left-hand side this time, no good. Ball knocked away, and it'll be the last touch by Sarah Thompson of Waverly, coming back to the purple and gold.
Lily Barnes checking in for McClain, letting the freshman off the bench here. Gets Bree Weller out.
So replacements come in for McClain as well. Stegbauer and Weller, the seniors, will get the well-deserved congratulations here. The victory, just 1:25 left on the clock, 19-point lead. Burchett puts one up, little floater in the lane, no good. Rebounded by Kelly Stewart, and it'll come back the other way. Now over to number 23, Tackett. Dribbles right-hand side.
Lily Barnes.
Lily Barnes gets in the passing lane. She's coming back coast to coast. Oh, no good. Just off the front. Did a nice job there, though, defensively, did the freshman. Now coming back for Waverly the other way. Inside to Stewart. Puts one up left-hand side. This one rolls in. 2 points for number 1, Stewart. That'll be her 6th on the day, and she'll have an opportunity for the old-fashioned three-point play here as we go under a minute, 51.6 left on the clock.
And Waverly and McClain both are getting in the ladies who don't get to play quite as much.
So we'll have Haley Havens along with number 20, Jaden McCoy, coming in for McClain. Number of other Lady Tigers wearing the orange and black. And Thompson, Stewart, the sophomore, able to get the three-point play there. So it'll come back the other way. Another substitution, they pull her out. So fresh bodies on the floor for everyone, getting some opportunity on the varsity level. Iva Easter coming back the other way for McClain. You mentioned before her speed.
Yep, he saw it right there.
Ava Little puts her mitts on the ball, and it'll be a held ball or a jump ball call as they put up both thumbs. It stays with McClain by way of the possession arrow. McCoy to inbounds. Sykes puts one up.
Off the glass.
Does a nice job getting it in. Does Maddie Sykes. 2 points on the day for her.
Right now, you get to see what it's going to look like for McClain next year.
Long three-point shot, just flat and short. No good. Come back the other way.
Waverly's continuing to press all the way to the end here. It's kind of their MO, so.
Well, if that's the philosophy, you might as well, do it with the kids that are out there as starters, or whether it's the end of the game.
You always coach to the end.
They'll be doing the same thing next year, more than likely. Iva Easter back the other way off the left-hand side and in, extending the lead now. 20-point gap as we go right to about 10 seconds left on the clock. Coming back the other way, Barnes with an opportunity once again. She did it once before, gets fouled this time as she puts it up. So no good on the shot, but she'll have an opportunity with just 4.8 left on the clock. And it'll be number 20, Ava Little, picking up her 4th foul of the day.
As this game comes to a close here, you always wonder what might have been with Smith playing for Waverly, and I really do hope that that is not a major injury and that she's able to make it back for tournaments, which are here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that could be a tough thing, because I know the Waverly Tigers are they're bringing a good record into tournament time, so seeding-wise it should be good. But if you don't have the offensive scoring threat that you do from Smith, it might not be to their advantage. We'll see what happens. The buzzer sounds here. It'll be your ball game. Final score tonight, or I should say this afternoon. Seems like a little strange saying that tonight at 2:24. But 44 for McClain and 23 for Waverly on the afternoon. And the Lady Tigers wearing the purple and gold. Best of the Lady Tigers of orange and black here in McClain Gymnasium. Stay with us here. We have some post-game coverage. But for right now, enjoy the pep band. All right, so we get the fight song and the alma mater as the ladies join the pep band for the alma mater there on the far side of the court. And we're here in post-game action. Final score, McClain 44, Waverly 23. We'll have Coach Haynes come up and talk to us a little bit later here. But what you were kind of mentioning before, this was a very, very good matchup. What looked to be two teams record-wise that were very closely matched. And it seemed like the absence of the injured Zoe Smith for Waverly was a big factor on the offensive end for them.
Absolutely. You always wonder, I mean, 1,000 points, that is a lot of offense sitting on the bench there. And with tournament time staring them down the edge, if Waverly is not going to get her back, they've got to figure something out.
We know on the defensive side of things, they gave fits to McClain for quite a bit, especially in the first half. That length was a huge factor for the halftime deficit. Only 4 points really at halftime, as it was, I believe, 20-16 going into the halfway mark, and the locker room speeches there at the split. But McClain really came out in the third quarter, able to extend the lead and just kind of kept their foot on the gas there to the end.
Yeah, and you said it in the third quarter. McClain is a great third quarter team, and that's where they really extended that lead.
As we kind of take a look at some of the overall stats for the evening, we'll go, or for the afternoon, I should say. It's easy to say evening because we were here yesterday evening as the Cavaliers of Chillicothe came to town for a kind of a 3-game set for the freshman and JV and varsity level on the boys side of things. So it's hard to tell what time of day it is when we're in the gym, because a lot of times we're here on a Friday evening or something like that.
There's no windows.
There's no windows. Yeah, we can't see what's actually taking place outside. But we'll go ahead and give you some stats here. We'll start with the Tigers of Waverly. So the orange and black, point-wise, actually fairly evenly distributed. Couple players here. No one really in double figures, but a number of players putting their mark, at least on the scorebook, for the orange and black. Let's see, Carly Knight, the senior, didn't really have a whole lot of points, only 1 point from the free throw line, but she made her mark on the defensive side of things with the pressure that she was given early. Let's see, a couple of players also with 4 points, Michaela Rhodes, the senior, and then Sarah Thompson, number 40, the junior, with 4 on the afternoon. And then a couple players with 7 for Waverly. Kelly Stewart, the sophomore, number 1, gets 7 on the day. And number 55, Paige Carter, the senior, with 7 points as well. So that's the scoring for Waverly, and obviously missing number 24, Zoe Smith, that senior contribution on the offensive end of things. Let's go ahead and bounce over to our stats for the Lady Tigers wearing the purple and gold, or wearing the home whites for today. And scoring-wise, couple Lady Tigers of McClain in double figures, but we'll go ahead and get the others in here first. Lily Barnes finishes with a point on the day as she nets the free throw toward the end of the game there. Maddie Sykes, a junior, with 2 points, and Iva Easter as well, a junior, puts 2 in. Peyton Pryor gets 2. As well. Let's see, we got, who else do we got here? It looks like number 6, Emma Stegbauer, the senior, doing a really nice job today, staying out of foul trouble. Had a lot of hustle plays, 6 points on the day for her. Jalen Pitzer had a couple from behind the arc with 8 on the day overall. And then we have 2 players for McClain in double figures. Bree Weller had 10 on the day, and high score for the Tigers of McClain, and of the contest, leading scorer on today's game, Kyla Burchett, and she was stroking it from the outside early.
Absolutely, and it was, you just said it. I mean, Kyla, when that game was going back and forth real quick, Kyla's the one who kept the boat afloat. A lot of things that a lot of kids, they're worried about how many points they get. The thing that's really fun to watch about this group is that if they're not scoring points, they're influencing the game in other ways. Peyton Pryor, great example, only had 2 points, but her hustle plays kept the ball alive. There are many times where she influenced the game without putting that ball through the basket.
And we saw the same thing, a number of players, I mean, we on both sides of things, but especially on the McClain side of the scoreboard. You know, you might not see a ton of it show up in the book necessarily, but the hustle plays by Stegbauer getting back in transition, I can think of a couple of them where she was able to knock the ball out or something like that. What would have been an easy bucket and could have cut into the lead there in the third or the fourth quarter, she's able to come back, keep her head in the game, not pick up a foul, and knock the ball away, and made it just that much tougher for Waverly to score and chip away at that lead.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that with those hustle plays, that's what is going to get McClain on their tournament run this year. I think that the consistency on defense, if you can't score on offense, it's all about defense. That's the one thing you can affect.
And that's something that we know that both squads that were here today really hang their hat on the defensive end of things, but McClain able to get what matters the most when it comes to winning the game, the points there on the scoreboard, and they get the victory here 44-23. We got Coach Haynes, who'll be up here in just a little bit. He's down talking to Light 97.5.
There we go.
Our folks here on local radio, WVNU, and he'll be up here shortly to talk to us for a little bit of post-game action. But overall, Coach, I know that you were here with me last night, sitting on the bench for the JV and varsity game, and you were also coaching here the boys on the freshman side of things. Tell me a little bit about kind of the feel of the locker room there, as we know that it was a clean sweep for the Tigers as they were able to get the Cavaliers not only on the freshman and JV side, but also on the varsity side for the first time in 13 years, I believe.
14 years.
14
Last time
years.
we beat them on the varsity side was with Dante Jackson in 2006.
So it's been a little while. Probably some of the folks that are watching us here on the live stream probably remember a number of those contests. But that's a huge thing for this program here to be able to pick up that win. What do you think was kind of the mood in the locker room after the game?
Gosh, elated. It was. I mean, that's the only way to put it. It was just top notch. It was that we are starting to believe in what they can do at the varsity level. You got to think. I mean, in Hillsboro a couple weeks ago, their leading scorer, Bryson Badgley, goes down. And they, as a varsity crew, they had to find themselves, and that's what they've really done these last couple games is they found who they are without Bryson Badgley. So not only is it exciting for this year, but next year, holy cow! I mean, it'll be a great year to watch.
And it's been exciting to see. I watched that game through the wonders of technology as Hillsboro was taking on McClain at their place, and Bryson went down with that ankle injury and will be out for the rest of the season. And it just kind of, you could tell that there was a little bit of an error, at least in the comment section of, we wish him well, but it was kind of like, oh, where do we go from here?
Absolutely.
And the boys have really stepped up. Everyone else that's in that locker room has upped their game the next level, whether it's on the defensive side of things, the hustle plays, the rebounds, whatever it might be. They've really taken it up a notch. And we've had some guys that maybe wouldn't have looked to score before are looking for their shot, and they're falling.
Well, and that's the first thing that he hit. I mean, I won't tell you the specifics, but Coach Stewart's great at this type of stuff where he preaches the know your role, embrace your role, be the best you can be at your role. Those are my words. He put a little more elaborately than that, but, I mean, that's what he preached. Just play your role, whatever your role may be. And you've seen that play out in the last couple games where, like you said, people who usually weren't looking for their shots, their role has changed with Bryson Badgley going down. One of those that I would like to shout out, Preston Saunders. He was in a little bit of a slump before Bryson went down, and then since he's gone down, Preston's really let that game come to him. It's been night and day difference. So
huge.
It is very exciting that they're doing as well as they are here at the end of the year. As Coach Haynes comes up, I'm going to go ahead and hand him my headset so you can do your questionnaire.
All right, so we have Coach Haynes coming on as we trade off, and we'll get him here on the live stream. And it was a really great contest here today between two Tiger squads on the ladies' side of things. And Coach Haynes, welcome in.
Thank you. Who was you rooting for?
Well,
I gotta ask.
Well, I was definitely rooting for the Tigers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But the purple and gold able to really get out there. And in the first half, we were kind of talking early in the first. It seemed like it was just going to be maybe a barn burner because both teams were really kind of back and forth, scoring points, what seemed to be at will. And then it just kind of slowed down and became a defensive slugfest as it went more into the back end of the first. Kind of tell us what you told your squad as it was only a 4-point lead at half, what you wanted to do in the second.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we've kind of done all year is we just haven't really panicked. And all coaches go in the locker room and try to make halftime adjustments. And sometimes it goes on deaf ears, but I have a group that comes out and they really respond. And, that's just, the last, 5-6 games, we went in at halftime and we've come out and played really well. Whether it didn't matter what adjustments were made, they just follow what we want. And defensively, we cleaned some things up in the second half, and we gave up 5 points.
It was nice to see a little bit there of an adjustment. I know in an earlier game, I think it was against Fairfield, they had quite a bit of length, and they were able to use that and get the victory over you here right around New Year's, I think it was. And this time Waverly kind of comes in with very similar length, very very similar defensive philosophy, at least on the trap side of things. And you guys were able to handle it a lot better this time.
And that's something we've improved on. We've worked on in practice. It's good to see. We saw it last Saturday against Western Brown. We saw it against Chillicothe. And, Waverly's so athletic on top. The night girl, she's hard to get by. And they do a really good job in that zone. So I was glad to see us knock down some shots, move the ball, and make good decisions. Now, there was a couple times that we need to clean some things up, and I thought for the most part, second half, it got better.
I would agree with you there. It seemed like as you came out in the second half, you really made those adjustments, and the girls took them to heart. And we saw a lot of really good play, especially out of Emma Stegbauer. She didn't really have a ton of points on the night, only 6 on the day. But man, she was really just hustle all over the place.
I mean,
for your squad.
Complete team effort, and Emma's a valuable part of that team. When Kyla comes out and shoots the ball like that. We need some defensive stops, and Peyton and Bree have kind of owned the boards as well as J-Bug, and J-Bug's come on and shot the ball really well. Lately, Pitzer, so she had a couple huge shots, and you're right, not her and Peyton don't always light up the score book, but the stat sheet they fill.
Absolutely.
And some of the things they provide, you can't replace that. And Bree's just a constant. She is a load for anybody, and unfortunately she was in foul trouble a little bit today. But, yeah, complete team effort. We got Iva Easter back. She looked almost full strength, I would say. She's got her speed back, I think, and Maddie Sykes got some good minutes. Josie Crabtree's been playing really well the last 8 to 10 ball games, and we were without the services of Evelyn Van Zant today. We definitely missed her, but hopefully she can get back, and we'll just keep rolling tournament time.
So we know we got Manchester. I think they're coming here later this week. Is that correct?
Next Thursday, we go at Trace and then Manchester the next night Thursday. Yep.
So a big FAC match at Trace, and that will likely determine who's coming out on top in the FAC. I'm gonna assume.
Well,
right?
yeah. Trace still has some games left. We still got to play Hillsborough. It wasn't easy when we went over there. They got Hillsborough. I also think they have Courthouse.
Oh, okay.
And, we know from playing Courthouse, who knows what can happen there. So
you never knew now.
It's playing, and a factor in you're playing a lot of games right now, trying to make some up, and so who knows.
So it's going to be tough sledding as we kind of get toward the end of the season. But as we do get toward the end of the season, right now your squad sits at 14-3, 6-1 in the FAC. And what does this win against a team like Waverly that came in at 13-4? Now they sit at 13-5 on the season after today's result. What does that do for your squad going into tournament time?
Right, and we've been kind of rolling. We've been playing really well. We've been shooting the ball good, and I think that's huge. We couldn't hit anything for about a 3-game stretch, and we just were kind of grinding games out and winning them close, low-scoring games. And it's kind of nice to put some points on the board today. And against the zone too, it's designed to slow you down, and the opportunity. Waverly's really good at it. They're well coached at what they do, and they're without their point guard who does everything. I think last week at Hillsborough she had 14, 10, and 9. So, I mean, you know, anytime you're missing a big piece like that, it's going to hurt you. And but they played tough. Credit them. They played extremely tough. They showed that grit that Waverly always does. And, you know, it's credit to John. He does a good job with them.
Very, very much so. So we're excited here to be able to get the victory on the day. Final score, once again, McClain 44, Waverly with 23 in this non-conference matchup between the two big cats in the gym, the Tigers.
The purple and gold,
That's
baby.
right, the purple and gold coming out on top. And Coach Haynes, we just want to say congratulations on the win. We're excited to see where the tail end of the season goes for you. But we know there are good things with this group.
I'm grateful we're at the end of the season, you know, that we've got through and we've got, 17 games in. You know, I'm super excited for these seniors. We looking at the season at the beginning of the year, and you just know we weren't for sure what we were going to have. And thanks to everyone here at the school and the district and the OHSAA to let these girls play. And, you know, they've taken full advantage of it.
So we say congratulations on the victory once again, and thank you for joining us here in the postgame, Coach.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so that was Coach Haynes with the postgame kind of question and answer there, and we say thank you to him, and congratulations to the entire staff, Coach Haynes, Coach Beal, and Coach Hamilton there, just doing the work there on the coaching side of things, and the Lady Tigers on the court getting the victory over the Lady Tigers of Waverly here in this non-conference matchup, 44-23, McClain with the victory. Coach Snyder, any parting thoughts before we sign off?
I think that McClain's right where they need to be, looking down the barrel of tournaments. I think that it's going to be really, really exciting here at the end. They do have to take care of business, and over at Miami Trace, they had a very similar situation last year. With both McClain and Miami Trace being at the top of the FAC. So I really, really hope that some way, somehow, I can get tickets to that one.
It should be a very interesting fair. I don't know if they'll go for quite as much as the big game that might be taking place this, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I think it is. I don't think they'll quite be that expensive, but it'll be a hot ticket.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, who do you got?
It's tough to tell. Is it the old man that's been there, what is it, 10 times now, or is it the young gun? I still think, to be honest, I really think Kansas City is just a little bit too explosive, and they have enough defense to stop Tampa Bay when they want to. But it could be a game. You never know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we'll see what happens there, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way out here for McClain in the FAC and beyond here as we near tournament time. So, Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you jumping on.
My pleasure, absolutely.
So, for Coach Travis Snyder, my counterpart here, my name's David Weeks. Our producer has been Brad Rowland. Our cameraman, Mr. Bliss, up top. Thank you very much to him. And until next time, we say good afternoon, and as always, go Tigers.